A Christmas Eve tradition has been silenced. A jazz concert that's rung in the holidays for more than 2 decades at Washington's iconic Kennedy Center has been abruptly canceled. Not because of weather, not because of ticket sales, but because of a name. As of last Friday, the building's facade reads the Donald J. Trump and the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. The White House says the president's hand-picked board approved the move after months of Donald Trump publicly floating the idea. For jazz musician Chuck Redd, that change was the breaking point. When I saw the name change on the website and then hours later on the building, I chose to cancel our concert, he says. Redd has hosted the Kennedy Center's Christmas Jazz Jams since 2006, carrying forward a tradition begun by the late bassist William Keeter Betts. Here's the controversy. The Kennedy Center isn't just another venue. After John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, Congress designated the center as a living memorial to him. That law explicitly bars the board from turning the center into a memorial for anyone else or adding another name to the exterior. JFK's niece, Carrie Kennedy, has vowed to remove Trump's name once he leaves office. Former House historian Ray Smock and other scholars say any such change would require congressional approval, something that hasn't happened. Trump has taken a far more hands-on role in his second term, forcing out leadership, reshaping the board, installing himself as its head, and personally hosting this year's Kennedy Honors. The administration frames it as a pushback against woke culture in federal arts institutions. But the backlash is real and growing. Actors and artists, including Issa Rae and Peter Wolf, have canceled appearances. So has Lin-Manuel Miranda, pulling a planned production of Hamilton.
I am bringing this to you live today because what you may hear is that there was a unanimous vote to rename the Kennedy Center the Trump Center. Be clear, I was on that call, and as I tried to push my button to voice my concern, to ask questions, and certainly not to vote in support of this, I was muted.
President Donald Trump is racing to engrave his legacy on Washington, not through legislation, but through naming rights. From warships to cultural institutions, Trump is putting his name on America's most powerful symbols. But this branding blitz is now colliding head-on with the law, because while a president can announce a name, courts and Congress still decide whether it sticks. Trump's approach mirrors his pre-politics playbook. As a real estate mogul, he stamped Trump on towers, casinos, golf courses, building the Trump brand in business. Now, facing a narrowing legislative window, Supreme Court scrutiny of his tariffs, and uncertainty over Republican control of Congress after the midterms, Trump is pivoting again, this time toward permanence through names. The goal, perhaps, is to make the Trump name unavoidable in the Capitol, even after he leaves office in 2029. But that strategy is already under legal fire. Last week, the White House announced it was adding Trump's name to the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, a move that immediately triggered a lawsuit. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty of Ohio, a member of the Kennedy Center's board, sued the Trump administration, arguing the renaming is unlawful. Her core claim, the Kennedy Center was named by an act of Congress in 1964, meaning no president can rename it without congressional approval. Beatty alleges the board vote approving the change was rushed, improperly noticed, and designed to silence dissent, including muting her when she tried to object remotely.
I'm Congresswoman Joyce Beatty. I'm sitting here in my congressional office in Washington, D.C., just ending a call with the Kennedy Center, where I serve as an ex officio member. I am bringing this to you live today because what you may hear is that there was a unanimous vote to rename the Kennedy Center the Trump Center. Be clear, I was on that call, and as I tried to push my button to voice my concern, to ask questions, and certainly not to vote in support of this, I was muted. Each time I tried to speak, I was muted. Participants were not allowed to voice their concerns who were online. Yet it was said at the end, it was a unanimous vote. Clearly, the Congress has a say in this. This center, the Kennedy Center, was created by the Congress. I think it's important for us to know that this is just another attempt to evade the law and not let the people have a say. As a strong supporter of the arts, as someone during my entire time here in Congress, I have participated in the Kennedy Center's programs, and I salute all the artists who have performed there.
The Kennedy Center case isn't Trump's only naming problem. Earlier this year, Trump renamed the headquarters of the U.S. Institute of Peace after himself, even as a federal court ruled his administration illegally seized control of the building. A judge said Trump and his government efficiency task force used brute force to dismantle the institute, calling it a gross abuse of power. That ruling is now paused on appeal, allowing the Trump name to remain on the building for now. Lawyers for the institute say the renaming adds insult to injury, arguing the government only controls the property because of a procedural stay, not because it won the case. Legal experts are reportedly saying that more challenges are likely. Trump has been sued over proposals to place his image on national park passes, for instance. His so-called Trump Gold Card and Trump Platinum Card visa programs, basically fast-tracking residency for wealthy foreigners, are also expected to face court scrutiny. And Democrats are moving to block future efforts altogether. Senator Bernie Sanders has announced plans to introduce legislation banning sitting presidents from naming federal buildings after themselves. One Trump naming push appears safer, at least for now. This week, Trump announced a new fleet of U.S. Navy warships, dubbed the Trump class, promising laser weapons, missiles, and unmatched power. Military analysts say while the move breaks long-standing naval naming conventions, it's not illegal. The real vulnerability? Money. Congress controls defense spending, and if costs exceed what lawmakers approve, the legal battles could all start all over again. Trump's naming spree is about more than ego. It's about permanence. But in Washington, names don't just live on buildings. They live in statutes, court rulings, and congressional votes. And right now, Trump's legacy isn't just being written in stone, it's being argued in court.